Anybody has tuned in, say hi in the chat. I'll try to remember to keep my eye on the chat today, not like normal. And we do have a special guest that's coming up in a few minutes. We're going to start off as usual doing the news and the other stuff. But in the meantime, I'm still playing around with software, just so you know. We've got different sound effects we can have. So you never know what might come up. And we'll start in about 5 seconds or so. And with that, let's go to the Secrets of Safety Dawg. Hey, welcome everybody. Once again, on Mondays at 1 p.m. Normally I go live, but this was a long weekend in Canada, so I'm going live on August the 4th, a Tuesday at 1. So with that, what are we doing today? Let me see if I can find there we go. The agenda, it is August the 4th. We're going to be talking about the news. We've got a kind of a neat unboxing that came from my buddy Bruce Outridge. And we're going to be talking to John Farquhar. He's going to join us in just a few minutes because there's something about some special announcement that he would like the world to know about. And then very briefly, I'll talk about the driver file. What I've done there is I've created a driver file for you that you can email to your drivers, put it on your website and stuff like that. That'll be at the very end because that's a little promotion, sales pitch thing, and I don't want to do that if you don't want to stay around for it. So with that, let me share my screen and we'll go through the news. The first thing in the news, Ontario continues to reopen. The drive test centers, hallelujah, are open and doing well, I understand. They're quite busy from everything I'm hearing. So this is at Ontario, John, what is this called? Ontario Truck...
OTA?
OTA, there we go, Ontario Trucking Association. Have a brain fart while you're live on camera. That's pretty good. So this is on the OTA website, ontruck.org. You just click on the news and you can get here. I found this interesting. City of Hamilton is seeking feedback. If you are somebody that goes to the City of Hamilton on a regular basis, and I live in this city, so I was interested to see this, that they're looking for feedback on designated truck routes. So very important. And again, this is all through the OTA. I found this, but you can look at it here and you can see, I'll take that out of the way. There's the regular truck routes, and I didn't know that in the City of Hamilton we had full-time and part-time truck routes. I guess that's the truck routes that you can't go on at night and different things. So interesting. I just really liked that. And going back to this here, as you can see, don't have ELDs. Hopefully you all remember that ELDs are coming to Ontario if you are a federally regulated carrier. Haven't heard a peep yet out of the Ontario government as to when they might implement ELDs for those who stay in the provincial boundaries, but certainly the federal government is still saying June 21st of 2021 is the date that these things will be implemented. I was on a webinar last week with several people, and they said this is almost impossible for the manufacturers to meet that deadline. So it'll be interesting as the time ticks away. Less than a year now for that. So we already talked about the City of Hamilton. And then one other thing here. This was an interesting article in American Trucker. Can ELDs, are they at risk of cyber attack? I found that interesting. So give me a few minutes after this live ends, and I'll put the show notes in the show notes or in the comments if you're watching on Facebook. I'll put that there so that you can go and read that, because it is something that I really think we all have to be careful of. Cyber attacks everywhere. And so it'll be very, very interesting. So that's it for the news this week. Let's bring in my special guest this week, Mr. John Farquhar. Johnny, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing, Chris?
I'm real well. I understand you got something that you want the whole world to know, and so you chose this format to announce it?
You know what? You got to work with the good people, Chris. The good people spread the good news, right?
Well, thanks for doing that and saying that. What is this thing that you would like the world to know?
Well, as a lot of people probably are aware, I left my employer at the time, at the beginning of May, middle of May, and decided to take a hiatus and go out and relax. And took some time off. And in early June, we decided to start up a venture that we've been building for the last 2 months. And today, August 4th, is the official launch date. So for an outfit we call Summit Risk Solutions, Inc.
Summit Risk Solutions, Inc. Well, here, somehow I magically got the logo, so we'll put the logo on the screen.
More good people.
So Summit Risk Solutions, what is Summit Risk Solutions going to be doing?
Well, we're going to specialize in complex risk evaluations for folks in the transportation industry, and not necessarily just trucking, but municipalities, school bus, commercial auto fleets, large tractor trailer fleets, specialty commodities, designations, transportation, stuff like that. Our main focus is looking to work with insurance brokers and insurance companies and providers, more so some insurance companies that don't have their own loss prevention, loss control, risk service teams and whatnot. So we're going to try and help them out in that fashion.
Hey, that's cool. It's something that I hadn't thought of approaching anyone on that, because, I mean, let's be honest, you're going to be a competitor to Safety Dawg. Yes.
Kind of not. You know, one of the bonus parts is as we've set up is a strategic partnership. I want to be able to use the skill sets that Safety Dawg brings to the table. And for me, why reinvent the wheel when Safety Dawg's already got some really good tools, awesome tools out there, and we can apply that. So if we get into a situation, which I foresee by all means, with a customer, client, whatnot, who needs some assistance, I'm going to go, you know what? I got a strategic partner that can help us out with that. So why reinvent the wheel when I can get Safety Dawg in here? He's already got the tools. He's already got the tricks. He's got the training programs. He's got whatever he wants to specialize in this area. And it'll complement both of us is the plan. And I think through strategic partnerships, the group of folks that I've partnered with, we can do more collectively than we could if we just tried to tackle it all as one.
Well, you know, you're absolutely right. And I, for one, believe that more good safety consultants are needed. And so I'm happily associated with you. And of course, you know, obviously I knew what you were going to announce today, and that's why you're here, because I do believe you're one of the good guys and know what the heck you're talking about when it comes to safety and compliance. You also have a lot of strength in areas that not everybody can know everything, and I certainly know next to nothing. For instance, on truck driver manifests, or bills of lading, I guess you would call it, for instance. Just in one thing I'd forgotten about your past, a couple of past employers ago, I guess, I'm not sure how I would say it, the guarantee. Anyways,
yep.
The guarantee had a huge...
Great operation, great opportunity. So yes, proud of it.
Yeah, the guarantee though, they had a huge book of business in the municipality or the city area. As a risk manager, were you doing work in that field?
Yes, I was. For our sister company, Frank Cowan, I was doing a number of risk evaluations and assisting a number of municipalities throughout Ontario and some of them outside the province, but mostly my focus was in Ontario. So yeah, we were working with municipalities on helping them understand what their risks were that they needed to address and deal with.
See, that's cool, because I didn't know that, and you know, many of the listeners know probably that we exchange questions and stuff before we sit down, but that wasn't one of the questions. That was just something you had said in your introduction for Summit that raised my curiosity because, you know, as I said, I live here in Hamilton, and years ago, the local newspaper, the Hamilton Spectator, had an article, and this was many years ago, about how bad the CVR was for the city of Hamilton. And at that time, I wasn't self-employed. I didn't have my own company, so geez, I've been doing this for 6 years. So the article that I'm referring to is older than 6. Yeah. But, you know, I wondered how the city got a handle on it, and if they hired somebody like a John Farquhar from Summit or a Chris Harris from Safety Dawg.
Yep, very much so. There's a need. There's a big need out there, and I guess one of the unfortunate aspects is a lot of these municipalities don't realize that service is available. Even working with you know, a safety consultant with some driver training aspects that you bring to the table. They don't understand that that's there. They don't understand that there's somebody out there that can help them. So when I was with the Guarantee, with working with our sister company, Frank Cowan, that was one of their focuses. They brought this service to their customers, their municipality customers, to be able to let them know, hey, we have this available. Let us send John out there and do some work with you and help you out in some areas that you may not understand or areas that you just need enforcement with.
Hey, that's cool. I mean, I think cities would be really neat to work with, for one. I'm not sure if it's this Friday or in 2 weeks Friday, an interview that I just finished for the Doggone It Trucking podcast was with a fella out of California, and his specialty, largely he works with fleets and with municipalities, but helping them ascertain when to replace the equipment. And we got talking about COVID, and this is something that you and I can talk about a little bit, but COVID and how it's going to affect everybody, and certainly those politicians. We've already heard that, you know, the city of Hamilton's, I don't want to say begging for money, but has gone to the province, as has almost every other city gone to the province and said, hey, you're going to have to help us out. This is killing us. The province has gone to the feds saying the same thing. And so they're going to be looking for ways to cut waste, trim the fat, if you would, because not that they weren't lean and mean beforehand. I'm not trying to imply that, but this is a new world.
Well, yeah, you know, revenues are down everywhere, you know, so even when you look at transit operations, you know, you had lots of riders, so you had money going into the coffers, but now there's no riders, there's nobody putting money in. So you're just left with tax money that's there, and you can't keep taking it from the tax side to subsidize the whole program. So it is a big challenge, you know, until this thing gets turned around, people get comfortable and go, you know what, I don't mind getting back on a city bus again, or, you know, the transit lines. So it's going to take a while, there's no doubt. So going to be a challenge.
And, well, this whole new world of ours is going to be a challenge, I think. I'm not smart enough to know how COVID is going to impact things long term. I'm just glad I'm goddamn 65 years old, because you youngins are going to be bearing the tax burden of all this. Well, you know, seriously, I look at my kids, and even our grandkids are going to be paying for the money that the government is spending. And I'm not trying to say that they're not spending it correctly, because we need their assistance at the moment, or else bankruptcies would be just unfathomable. But this is going to cost for at least a generation, I think. So anyways, getting back to Summit. So you are able to help insurance companies with risk assessments. You're able to help municipalities, cities, and jurisdictions with stuff. You're able to help trucking companies, fleets.
Yes. Oh, by all means. Anything that's got wheels. Anything that's got wheels, by all means. You know, like commercial operations, construction operations, and such like that. Our focus is going to be on the risk management aspect with transportation. Be a little bit of health and safety there, but not a huge amount of that. It's more around operating the vehicles in the environment that they've got set up. So our specialty is going to be, again, that complex risk evaluation. We've created a platform that has got a number of industry benchmarks that we're measuring against. And the focus is to be able to sit down, do a very in-depth evaluation, help them to understand what type of risks they're dealing with, and then lay out an action plan as to how we can correct their shortcomings. So the focus will be working with insurance brokers and insurance providers with their existing clientele or prospect clientele, as well as working directly with the transportation providers to help them understand, and at the same time help them to improve the risks that they've got so that they can better their chances of managing their insurance portfolio. Because that's one of the biggest things on the go right now in this hard market. You've talked about it many, many times, is we need to manage those premiums by managing what's going on inside the operation. And it's going to be the point where if that doesn't get managed, then there's good chance that insurance providers are just not going to provide.
Well, to say that this is a hard market, I think, is an understatement.
Yes. And it could become the new norm.
Well, I think it is. I don't expect, any significant changes in the foreseeable future.
No.
The numbers that I've read out of the States for trucking insurance companies are still taking a bath in the profit area. And until that changes, why they've got to collect more premium because they are a for-profit organization.
It is the nature of the beast.
Well, I get up every day with the idea of making a profit. I don't know about you.
Yeah, well, I'm trying. That's the plan. But with that, it's not that we're just trying to make a profit for the sake of profiting. It's the sake of we want to help the industry be better. No matter what segment of the industry that you're in, school bus, municipality, specialized transportation, commercial auto, and stuff like that. We're here to make it better. I drive the roads. My family travels the roads. You travel the roads. Your kids and whatnot. We want the roads to be safe. So if that means, hey, if we can get out and help those companies be better at managing their risks, in how to understand what it is they have to do to be a better company and also make themselves more marketable for the insurance providers, then all the better. It's a win-win for everybody. And at the same time, well, we can make a couple of bucks and keep living.
Yeah, I think that's great. Let's do a segue into I'm going to share my screen again, and you can tell us about, share my screen, there we go, your website. So here it is, Summit Risk Solutions, Inc.
That's us, yep. So it's more of a placeholder for the website, as it's always kind of neat as part of my investigative features is when I see somebody with a unique email, I'm always going, ooh, they must have a website. So I wanted to make sure we had a presence of some sort here by all means. So it gives a rundown of what the company's about, who we are, what we're doing. So currently it's just me on the Who We Are page. So I'm hoping to get more. Partners page. Oh, sorry. Yep. So hopefully as we add more team members, we'll get into that. But the partners page. This is a list of the strategic partners that we've aligned with, and we've got a couple more coming. This is something where we are strategically partnering with these folks because they bring a service to the table like none other. And I'm not reaping any rewards or commissions off these guys. I've made it very clear to all these people. I have chosen you because you are excellent in your field of what you do. And I want to be able to promote you to my clients to be able to say, hey, you need some help in this area? Here's what we got. Here's one of the guys. And as part of my evaluation process, when I'm sitting there with a customer, we're going to be bringing this website up and I'm going to be sharing with them the partners that are on this website and go, hey, look, we can click here and we can go there. So we can make it happen.
Hey, that's cool. And what's the Feel Good team?
Check it out. Open it up. That's the fun part of the whole website. So that's where you got to have a little fun.
Share my screen again. And,
yep.
I just saw the tab. I haven't been on it here because for those that are watching or listening,
Yep.
It wasn't up. So this is my first time.
Yep. So you know what? Anytime you're looking at a website, you're always wanting something to pick you up and make you feel better. You know what? You want to feel good. So I created the Feel Good team, and click on any one of them pictures, and then we can walk through them all. So what this is a group of the folks that have helped me build this and put my team together, or not my team, my platform together, and friends of the family and whatnot. These are all their cuddlies. So it just makes you go, I feel good now. So yeah.
Well, and one thing I might add as a suggestion under the Feel Good, because I happen to know that John Farquhar does a little bit of droning and filming.
Yes.
You might want to put up a couple of your videos, because I've seen them. They're quite good.
Yeah, I might get in there. I want to do some more stuff and whatnot. So I'm, big into the GoPros, action cameras and whatnot, and drones and stuff like that. So, unfortunately, the lockdown of COVID has kind of limited me a little bit. We haven't been out traveling around like we usually do, take the drone, go see some sights. So we've been trying to just stay close to home right now, get this thing over with, and then we'll plan to get out there and have some more fun.
Yeah, I've been staying close to home. That's...
Yeah.
I tell you. Look at John, thanks so much. Last word.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Looking forward to sharing this with everybody, letting them all know. I'll be doing an e-blast through email out this afternoon to let everybody know what's going on, and my contact information will be in that email as well. And then, you know what? Give me a call. I've already got some calls lined up with a number of folks. We're going to be talking this week and next week to get some things started. So today is the official launch. We are up and running. And
cool.
Looking to help out. Whoever wants help, doesn't matter. Go to the website. You got something with wheels on it? Let's talk.
Perfect. And I'll put your contact info in the show notes shortly. It'll be up there this afternoon sometime, shortly after we quit doing the live.
Awesome. Thanks very much, Chris. I appreciate the opportunity to come out and say hi to everybody and use your platform to launch from.
Hey, it was great. And, I had an agenda, if you remember, and I'm just going to say goodbye to John there for a minute. And in the agenda, I was supposed to do an unboxing before we went to John. And I got so excited to bring John on that I forgot. So let's go to, this is Bruce Outridge. Came by and dropped off, and I had won last week. I'd won something from Bruce, and apparently it got delivered. So as you can see here, a thank you card. I won't open that. I know you're supposed to open cards first on air, but oh, that's cool. We got a new coffee mug. Let me see if I can hold that up there. The Lead Pedal Podcast. Is there something on the back? And of course there's something on the back. So there's Bruce's contact info. And if you can see that there, because I did say I would help Bruce out when he comes to Hamilton here on his cross the province tour. And I say cross province. He was in Quebec, I know. So it's more than a cross province tour. So I got to say thanks very much. Oh, look at that, it's cool. Turn that around the right way. The fan club member. So there, does it fit? We'll switch back to the real camera. And now, look at that, we got the Lead Pedal Podcast on the head there. So with that, the last thing I'd like to mention is driver files. If you don't have a driver file that you can email to applicants, and if you have not embedded it yet on your website so that applicants can quickly apply to your company, either on your website or from their smartphone, you need to reach out and get in touch with me. All right, that's all I'm going to say about that. And with that, I'm going to end this live. The Safety Dawg is out.